Hi, this is an introduction or a tour through the 1992 Toyota motorhome. The coach is made by Rockwood, and of course the chassis is made by Toyota. So I'm going to do a walkthrough. Hopefully the lighting is good and all that, but first thing I'm going to do is the outside, and I'll show you the ugly bits on the outside, and we will go inside then. So I had a Rhino liner put on the whole roof, and you can see it here was also done around the windows and all the seams, and that of course was to discourage any sort of leaking. It was the same color as the coach initially, but it turned this yellow almost immediately, so that was kind of a bummer. But anyway, so the front is good, no issues whatsoever. Go around the actual front here. There's a little spot here where the antenna, which is right here, was rubbing when we drove. There was a little hinkus there that kept it on there, and it rubbed a little bit and then it broke, which I didn't know right away. So here is the front of the Rockwood, and it's a Roamer. I haven't seen any other Rockwood Roamers, so I don't know how many they made or whatever, but it did come from Ohio initially, so it does have a little bit of rust on the wheels. It doesn't seem to be any rust underneath, but we'll go under there and look too to be sure. And looking around the front, I parked a little too close to the fence, sorry. So she's a Toyota. She was registered last in California. We are in Oregon. So, again, here's the other front wheel. A little bit of rusty looking stuff. No big deal. Anyway, so there's the front again. This side, there was a repair done right here, which I did that repair. And that's good. There's no leaking or anything. And I have the cover for that plate. It popped off when I was washing it, and I just forgot to pop it back on. Here is another ugly spot where I was repairing the fiberglass, and I didn't finish that yet, but it's all watertight and all that. Okay, back on the outside. This is the generator in here. I've never used it. I'm going to get it, I think I'm going to get it tuned up, make sure that she works. Good. The oil is good in there. We looked at that, but might be just something as simple as a spark plug. But I really haven't tried to get it running or anything just because I don't use it. Okay, next is your water, or where you would fill your tanks. I can't remember how many gallons the tanks are, but I have a lot of information on the camper. I could look that up. Some more. This is the windows again. You can see some of the Rhino liner coming over the edge there. And down here. This is a little spigot where you would drain the water tanks if when you're cleaning them out or whatever, and its little handle broke off. So that would need to be replaced. It's no big deal. This little guy is the air intake for the airbags, which lift the camper up and down depending on how much weight you have, make it ride nicer. Here's the rear wheel. Very important in these Toyota campers that you have the 6-lug rear, because they made a 5-lug and there was a problem with the axle actually breaking. So make sure that you always get the 6-lug and not the 5. So that is exhaust from the stove fan. Here is the water intake where you hook up to city water. There's the power intake, or power cord comes out of there. This is the exhaust for the furnace. And here is the water heater, which works fine. I never use it again, but it is a water heater. And I've had someone light it for me and make sure that it works. So last I knew, that works. Here's another little spot where I was repairing the fiberglass, and I haven't quite finished that yet either. These things sit kind of low in the back, so if you go, you know, too steeply from a driveway to the road or something like that, you can catch the bottom, and it looks like that's what somebody did here. And I will probably just cut that, I don't know if you can see that bottom piece off. You see how it's kind of ripped there, broken? So that's just a matter of cutting that off, and I'll show you the other side of that as well. Let's see, I had two, I think they're 2-inch hitches put on, an upper and a lower, depending on how much weight you have. I actually have a bike rack that holds 4 bikes that goes in there. I might be able to be talked out of. So those are new bike things. Here's one of the tires. I bought all these tires at the same time. They're really good and still have great tread on them. I'll show you the real tire as well. I mean the tires that are actually on it. And here we are again, the back window, the Rhino liner around it, and the lights at the top. I'm going to go around the other side here. You can see at the bottom, this is another thing where it got like kind of caught. You know, again, I'm just at the point of just like cutting that off and sealing it and replacing it. It doesn't, it's just a cosmetic thing, kind of annoying. Another little place where I started repairing the fiberglass, but I haven't finished that yet. The rest of it's really good. Big spider hanging out. So it's all pretty good. Another spot, fiberglass repair there. So it's all been repaired. It just needs to be, you know, smoothed out and painted over. Here is a outdoor light, or, you know, power thing. This is just a little storage container where you can see the, I believe it's a 20-gallon gas tank. I just have a little firewood stored in here, so you got a little storage guy in here. There's a little dent along here. I don't know if you can see that or not, because it's sunny and I can't see what this is really pointing at. And there's a little discoloration under here. You can see. That silver thing is the exhaust for the battery. The batteries are in there. It has 2 new, well, new within the last few years, deep cycle marine batteries. So you got a lot of oomph there. This is the back of the fridge, which you have this fridge in here. As I mentioned in the ad, this fridge is brand new, and I'll show you that from the inside, but it is shore power only, so it's electric only. But we actually have a Coleman AC/DC one that's quite a bit smaller, and it can plug right into that little DC power outlet I have there. There's also, you know, power right there. We have a cable hookup if you wanted that. And so that's the back access to the fridge. Alright, we're coming up to the front door. That's the gas intake, or the gas thing. Wheels again. To find a better place to show you the tires. There's the little guy for the door, or for the step. And that's all good. Another big window that's stock, and again has that Rhino liner on it. This is a little thing that holds the door open. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's go look at these tires here. I don't know if this is the best one to see the tire with, but they're in good shape. They have a lot of, you know, tread left on them. I think they have about 5,000 miles on them. And they are a load of a D, I think, which is for a really heavy, yeah, load range D. So that is for nice heavy stuff. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take you inside in a minute. Stand by.